Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another Sims 4 house building video. This one is part 2 of a little renovation that I started a few days ago on this sort of barn kind of build. Anyway, in this second part, I'm taking all the feedback from last time because there was just a lot of stuff that I just wasn't particularly happy with last time and I couldn't figure out how to make it work. But thanks to all the comments, I was able to get something that I'm way more happy with. So I decided to make the barn a lot bigger because one of the first suggestions was, hey, you should really like flip the lot around because, you know, the back kind of looks more like the front with the barn facade and all of that, which was all well and good, but I didn't really want to just rotate the entire lot because one of the big aspects of this build and one of the most silly ones was the fact that we're having that stupid tree right in the middle and we're not moving that one tree. I did move the other tree though. I sort of picked it up and replanted it out the back. I didn't want to get rid of it. I wanted to keep it, but it was just in the way of where I wanted to put the new section of the barn. So what I did is because I also felt like we didn't have enough height inside the barn, so I decided to make it actually 3 stories. So we have 2 stories on the lower section. That's all going to be opened up, like I mentioned last time, because that was a fairly well-received kind of design choice that I wanted to go with, was just opening it all up and making it look like a nice big barn that's been renovated. And I decided to keep the existing kitchen furnishing area that we had, but I got rid of all the living room stuff that I felt we didn't really need, and it wasn't really working because that's where I got stuck last time. So I got rid of all of that. And so I decided, and here as well is where I decided to just open the tree up to the entire space instead of having it in this weird little glass room, which made sense before because it was actually outside. It's now just part of the interior of the building. I just put some columns around it to make it look a little bit more like, I don't know, maybe it was like a design choice. Like, we're just going to keep the tree in there. It's going to be lovely. And now one of the other suggestions, one of the other big comments was that it wasn't very colorful. And that was kind of down to the fact that I hadn't finished furnishing it for one. So more color would have come in anyway. But also it was a fairly, we went for a really modern interior. So just by nature, it didn't have huge pops of color anywhere. But I was still going to add some, but it just wasn't feeling quite right. So instead, I even changed the outside of the car. I didn't want to go full bright red on the exterior because I felt that was a little too much, especially for a building of this size. And that would have just been kind of crazy. So we went for this sort of, it's like, I guess kind of a warm orangey kind of color on the outside. And then I used that. And then a lot of the other suggestions was to incorporate some of the stuff that we found during our time in Selva Dorada, like all the colors there. There was a lot of colors, a lot of crazy patterns, especially because we've gotten together with Mario, who apparently we're not even married to. Apparently we're just engaged to him, and I never actually did the marriage part of it, but you know what? Yeah, anyway, so I decided to, when we get to the interior, you see a lot of the patterns and colors and all that from Selva Dorada, and I think it actually works really well. I had a lot of fun doing the interior today, so I think it turned out quite well. So I kept the windows on the barn, on the left and the right. There's this big wall here. I kept it fairly simple because as your standard barn goes, it probably wouldn't have that many windows originally anyway. So I kept them pretty light on the windows. And then I put a couple of these sort of, what do you call them? I don't remember what it's called when you have the windows in the roof, but they had that sort of category in The Sims. Dormers. There you go. I knew there's a category in The Sims too where you could just automatically place dormers in the roof area. Anyway, so I built a few dormers up the top because I thought it gave the roof a lot more detail. It looked a little bit more interesting. And I changed, and I did this a while ago, but I changed the wooden floor texture in the barn to that sort of, the flooring that came with Jungle Adventure that just looked way more sort of worn in. And I think it just has a lot more barn kind of vibe to it. But I did a lot of playing around with the roof, and you'll see a lot of messing around with the rooms as well to just make them even work. Especially with this cutout here, placing these fences and then the rooms would get messed up, and it was a whole thing. I actually do end up with a little bit of extra space up on this 3rd floor, which I wasn't sure what to do with. So I did actually leave that blank in the end, but everything else ends up being furnished. But so feel free to suggest what we could do with that. I mean, you'll get a better idea of it when we get to the end with the screenshots and everything. But oh god, I remember going through and doing all these, trying to do all these rooms here, and the cutting out of the flooring was not working, and it was just, you can just see how much. I really don't understand why the room system sometimes is so messy. Like sometimes rooms just don't join properly, and then I just had to redo it. So I just removed all of it, and then I just built a new one, and then it finally worked. So that's good. I did actually replace that fence with a more like a wooden one later on, like one that sort of matches the whole barn aesthetic. Because this whole part of the house, which is the barn, I wanted it to have the older sort of vibe, or not older vibe, but you just look like it was a barn at some point, and it hasn't been completely refitted, but it's been, maybe it's just had a few items put in it, but it's not necessarily been made up to look like it's modern. But then obviously we have that modern extension just up to the side there, which is fairly new and quite clean and completely different to the rest of the build anyway. So I decided to use these little hanging light bulbs actually on the second floor here. I didn't want to use them above any of the walking spaces because I think they hang a little low. But I thought it was quite good there, but hanging them above on the second floor so they could hang down and sort of, I don't know, it seemed like something that you could have in there. I don't know if realistically, I feel like they wouldn't be that bright, but it's a sim, so who's complaining? And then we just got some stairs here tucked away. I really like this sort of little fenced 2-story area, and I think having this whole second floor opened up makes the space so much better than it was in part 1. It felt so closed in, it felt so small, and it was a little ridiculous. So I'm glad that we went with that idea of opening it up and making it way bigger, because it just feels so much better than it did before. And I'm just having a look at some more of the comments here. Yeah, so like the 2 top comments was like, it's missing color, and it's, let's represent Salvadorada. And then the other one was, the house is just backwards, flip it around, essentially. And then I think there was a few other suggestions about relating to like the tree and that, and sort of making it a centerpiece and potentially even making it bigger. But no, I don't want to make it bigger. I think it actually worked quite well, because now that it does fit in, like it fits within the build, it's just like it's part of the house. I mean, you'd have to make sure it got enough sunlight somehow. I don't even know how you do that, because it's like indoors completely. I don't know that that'd be particularly good for the tree, but hey, it's The Sims. It works fine. And then let's have a look. I'm just going through some of the other comments as well. All hail the randomly placed tree on this lot. May it guide us to go from rags to riches for generations to come. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, so we just, it was basically like, hey, it needs more colors. The house is backwards, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like I was really stuck in it before, but I think posting it in part 1 really helped me out. And sort of when I came back to it today, I just had way more ideas of where to take this. So it was really, really handy to see all those comments. So thank you guys for giving me feedback. Oh, and feel free to give me more feedback as well on this, because we're going to be using this in the Let's Play, Wags to Riches, part 44 and onward, in case you're watching this separately. This is all about a Let's Play build. I have also shared this to the gallery, so you can download it. I'll link that in the description below as well. So if you want to download it and play with this build, by all means, go for it, because it's up there. I don't normally do that with Let's Play builds, but I was like, why not? We'll just share it. And then I just created that little TV entertainment area. I decided to keep the living room furniture pretty standard. Like, it's not crazy, but then I did a lot of decorations around the place that add a lot more color to it, rather than using colorful furniture itself. And I actually really like those couches and all that sort of, all the aesthetic that we have going on there. I think it really works with the barn space, because normally I wouldn't use those couches like anywhere ever. But it actually worked really well. So I was like, hey, I can finally use that. I also love that mirror as well. I can't remember was that from Jungle Adventure? The one that sort of leans against the wall? Or was that from something else? I don't know. There's so many packs these days. Anyway, I put the cat tree right next to the actual tree, because I thought that's a good place to put it. And it sort of blends in with it quite a bit as well. Yeah, so I made sure to do lots of colorful decorations on other surfaces. Like on the coffee table, we had that really nice decorative piece just there in the middle. And I was looking into doing some cracks on the walls and that, but it wasn't much point. So I don't know, it didn't really make any sense. So I kind of got rid of those. Got a little still life thing on the corner there. Again, like I said, just having lots of little colorful pops here and there. Got the barrel plant on the left with a green vertical light. Oh my God, I was looking so long here for just items to put around the place. I wanted some aspects that felt like it was a barn, So that's why we have some things around, like we had the pipes on the wall on the other side, and then there's obviously like those set of stairs there with that old style fencing. Right here as well, I decided to put some crates in, just like, I don't know, maybe just some old things are left over there and they just haven't moved them. And then so I just put some other things in front of it. We got those plants right in front of it, bright yellow, matching Mario's shirt there. You can see him standing in the kitchen. And then, like I did last time, I actually just put a few pet beds around the place, and I decided to spread out the pet bowls a lot more than usual. It's really annoying that you can't just, train your pets not to kill each other for food, or assign like pet bowls. Like we always used to have, because we had 2 dogs for a while, and we always just fed them right next to each other, and they had no issues. Like one dog would eat, and then if they got full, the other dog would just be like, "Oh yeah, I'll go for that," and just go in. There's no fighting, I don't know. Like there doesn't appear to be any way to avoid the pets fighting in this game other than just having them eat on opposite sides of the house for some reason. So that's what I did anyway. Here's the front door. I thought, that big 3-tile front door from Jungle Adventure was actually perfect for this space. It fit right in the middle really, really well. So I was quite happy with that, because I was like, we need, like, if we could have a barn, we need big barn doors somewhere. And I mean, that was the biggest one I could get, so that did all right. So then moving up, again, still just trying to fix that space there with the flooring and all that was still so annoying. Like it was such a nuisance just to get it all fit properly. And right now I was just putting the sort of flooring on all that level, because there was a bit of weird ceiling stuff going on. So just putting a sort of empty flooring there helps out with the build, especially when we have all these open spaces everywhere. And then I just extended a little bit of room there, because I actually had a hanging light bulb just below. So it's like it kind of needs to hang off something. So that's where that goes in. So up the top floor is where we do the bedroom, which the bedroom is pretty closed off in terms. It's not very open or anything in terms of like windows or natural light. Although having said that, it does have those big windows at the back that look out and all that, but it's not like hugely open. It's fairly dark. I think it's quite a cozy room. I don't know if it would be necessarily the right sort of room for Katrina, like the sim, but I don't know. I mean, it worked with the build. Like we can always change this as we go along, like I said in the Let's Play. So feel free to keep suggesting stuff, but we won't be doing a part 3 of this build, in a speed build fashion. Like we'll make changes in the Let's Play probably here and there as we see fit. But yeah, her bathroom at the top here, had a little bit of fun with it. Got that shower in there from Jungle Adventure as well. I do really love a lot of the Jungle Adventure furniture. I'm actually using a lot of it in this build, and the flooring and all that. I love that wooden flooring though. It works so well. And I originally had the darker wooden floorboards, but I actually lightened them up because I was like, well, they're quite old, so maybe they've sort of washed out a little bit. So that's what I did with that one there. And then just a few little decorations in this bathroom. That bed, I didn't want to change the bed because I remember buying that ages ago, and everyone was mad at me for buying that bed because I wasted a lot of money on it. So I was like, I better keep it, otherwise you guys are going to be real mad. Even though we have like $200,000. And it was actually kind of hard to get to work with this room. I mean, I could have changed the flooring and all that, but I really wanted to keep that sort of barn aesthetic up here where we have the exterior walls are all the same on the outside, and then any interior walls we built in the barn, I just did like a white sort of plaster design to it. At least that was what I went with. So I thought I'd set up a home office space here just on the side, because we've got a lot of room downstairs still in the barn area. So, oh, by the way, count how many times I said, no, take a shot every time I say barn. I'll try to stop saying it from now on. Yeah, but we got a lot of extra space down here in the living area, so thought we'd get a nice set of bookcases there, because I don't believe we actually had any yet in the area. So put some over there. I was going to do them wood as well, as you saw, like a darker wood, but we have a lot of dark wood all over the place, so I thought maybe that should be more of a lighter color. I think it looks okay, and I thought I'd just get another little pipe situation there. I don't know where those pipes go, what they do, but they're there and they're having a good time, so don't judge them. Yeah, so for the little office area, I thought it was kind of cool because I used like the counters to add a bit more space. Oh, actually, I really hope that she doesn't. I hope that they don't end up using those counters to chop up food on. Like they go to the kitchen, then walk all the way over to the counters. That'll be annoying. I really hope they don't do that. Anyway, yeah, so I set up this whole like little thing, and then I put like a big a big picture in the middle there. Thought the cat was quite fitting, just looking out over the water. And then I was trying to figure out what to put behind the counters there. There wasn't a lot. I think I put some like dog treats and pet treats there, and then I think eventually I put up the little collection reward plaques that we unlocked earlier on, and then that actually worked out quite well. And then here by the entrance, because this is just the entrance area, really, there doesn't need to be a whole lot. I just put like a little end table there and a couple of these lights hanging off the columns, which, by the way, it's really hard to see that column because that tree was right in the way. But when I went to live mode, it was good. So that was no problem at all. And then I decided to put the horse statue there because it's to remind us of the horses that we do not have in The Sims 4. And the only pet that Katrina wants that she can't get. So she has a little bit of she sheds a single tear every time she comes into our home now because there's no horses. And maybe this used to be a horse stable. No, it wouldn't have because it's a barn. I mean, I guess it could have had horses in it. Yeah, I mean, it could have, but it didn't. Because it's a Sims 4. And then I just did like a little vet station over there. I actually thought those items fit in quite well because maybe they could have been part of the existing barn, like those just like workshop kind of style of items. So I thought that fit in quite well. I put it in that corner there. I was going to try putting it somewhere else, but I was like, you know what? No, I actually kind of like it there. And then up here on the second level, where I was talking about last time, we have this sort of second level balcony, and that's where I wanted to do a nice barbecue area. So I thought I'd do a second like living space up here, just a simple table, couple of sofas, really nothing too complicated, and some blinds there. And then we just did an outdoor dining table and a nice little barbecue area just to fill in the space here because it just needed a little something. And I think this is actually quite a good space. And I mean, it's very close to the existing living space, and the kitchen is just downstairs below. So none of it's too far away, especially because we don't actually have that much outdoor space on the ground floor. It's all taken up by building mostly and a pool. So this is a good little entertaining area up the top. Just a barbecue. I was trying to find some more decorative items to put out there, but there wasn't a whole lot. I did change the table, as you see, because that one was just much nicer. So I was trying to find I just wanted something to put on the table, but I didn't really know what would even go there. So I think in the end, I might have put one thing. No, maybe I didn't put anything there. I don't know. Well, if you think of something to put there, let me know and we can add it in. Yeah, so that area up on this level, out to the right at the moment, on the other side of the tree, there's nothing there. I don't really know what to put there. We could have done another sitting area, but I didn't really see the point. We already have a bunch of sitting areas, and there's only 2 Sims that live here, so it's we don't need that much stuff. And to be honest, it's my Let's Play, and I never entertain or have parties. So we don't even need entertaining spaces, really, but that was just a luxury. I mean, we have so much money, so if we want to add some other stuff, we could. I guess, what else do we need to do? We're just doing vet clinic stuff. I mean, we could add instruments or something if we wanted to. And I made sure to get enough pet beds here in her bedroom so that all 5 of the pets could sleep with Katrina, even though she actually never sleeps anymore because we have that reward trait, so you don't ever have to sleep. But, I put them in there anyway because if we ever want to skip time for whatever reason, we can. So that's there, good to go at a moment's notice. This bedroom was kind of weird to furnish. I didn't really know. I mean, it's essentially a room that I'm never going to use. Well, Katrina's never going to use. Mario might. I don't know. Anyway, at the back, we have all these plants in our household inventory that I put in there because when we were redecorating, and also some of these used to be at the vet clinic. So I've moved them back here, just doing a little, I guess, garden, little home garden where we're growing all of them. And a couple of the trees, like the avocado tree, and I think the emotional berry tree thing. They're just arranging all these here. I don't actually know if we can even reach all of them because I was just trying to figure out a little setup here that actually worked. I don't know if they're all accessible, but I guess we'll find out when we try to garden with them, or if we hire a gardener, if the gardener ever shows up. I do also actually forget to put in a gate to the pool area or a pool ladder, but I think... No, I don't even know if in the screenshots there's there. No, after the screenshots, I do a pool ladder and a pool and a diving platform and all that. And actually, there's also a sink in the middle of the dining area, which I believe is in the screenshots, but I have removed in the uploaded version, so don't worry about that. But here's the barn on the outside. Actually, I think the exterior looks 100 times better now than it did last time, so I'm really, really happy with it. I love the sort of tall barn look, and then we have a couple of those chimneys on the roof. Oh, wait, did those disappear? Oh. Okay, well, there were chimneys. There were chimneys on the roof. Never mind. It was kind of the idea was like it was supposed to be like maybe some old mill or something and had these big chimneys at the top, which have now disappeared. So apologies for that. But here's the interior with the tree as the centerpiece. I think it looks really nice. It adds a huge amount of character to the place. And that's the main living area with a double-story opening there, which I think makes it look way more spacious than before. Like last time, it was so close and it was tiny. But here is the very like modern kitchen addition that they've chucked on the side, which I think still looks really, really good, especially when it's joined together here with the barn and all of that. But if you do want to download this, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery, and do check out part 43 of the Let's Play series, because that's where we'll be continuing on with this and just doing some more playing of the game and doing a few more things. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll leave you here with the rest of the screenshots there they are all sleeping in the bed as well. I'll leave you here with the rest of the screenshots to enjoy. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. But I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.